Hey guys, my name's Anna. I'm over 40 and I love makeup. I hope you do too. So let's get my new channel started together, and I thought my second video should be a palette collection because they're pretty popular. The first brand of palettes we're going to start with is Maybelline. Because I am Australian, makeup is so expensive and it's sort of where I began. The second palette I ever owned was the Blush Nudes. This one's going to be decluttered. It never was a good palette, but I was like I want a palette collection like the big beauty gurus, and I had L'Oreal La Palette La Nude and Tati compared them. Thought it was fantastic. Got this. A couple of the shimmery shades were okay, but the mattes got hard pan very quickly. I thought it was good at the time, but it's one of those things that, as I have learnt, less impressed. So if we look at the packaging, there were the beige nudes before that. I never got that. Now we move into the 24 karat nudes. The formula here is slightly nicer, and the colours, they're getting a little bit more experimental. This is like a dirty sort of muddy palette. There's 3 mattes. They're really dark brown, a matte white, and a black, and then there's one of those weird blacks with the glitter. But there's some beautiful shades like the olive, the gold is very gold, and they're certainly getting their formula right by that stage. So that is probably my favourite of the nudes one, although the last one I got was the graffiti nudes, and this is just straight up crazy for Maybelline. So there's only two matte shadows, and this is black and white, and I assume the idea is to use these as under shades to then get the full pigment out of this, because all the bright colours are pigmented. It has a strange colour story, but it was just so amazing for Maybelline at the time to do a palette with like blues and pinks that I guess we kind of overlooked the fact that they appear to have gone back to the Blush Nudes formula, which is not a favourite one. You can make it work, however. I think there is rock nudes as well, and when I find it I will get it. Then we moved on to the next. Although the packaging on this is the same, this sort of becomes important later on. This is the bar series, so this is the burgundy bar. This formula is quite dry, but it's a lot better. I have seen some not so positive reviews on this palette. I, however, love it. I don't feel that the colours all end up looking together. Another one, I think they look beautiful in the eye. I think they're just some really, so it's kind of a dry formula, but as you can see, I've gotten use out of it. I really love it. So yeah, I like this one along with the bars. Now, this is a recent purchase of mine because we get everything so late. I do not know how it goes in actual chronological order, and it is the different sort of packaging that then all the rest of the palettes have. This is called the matte bar. It's fairly obviously an all matte palette with some basic shades. The matte formula is really nice. It works really well. I wish the shades weren't that funny size. It's really hard to get your brush in, but it's a great adjunct palette to have. And then we move into like what I consider the more newer style. So this packaging with the little outlines there. So the first one we have here is the Total Temptations palette, which I got on sale for $12, as you can see. And they have like suggested little looks on the back and how to do it. But essentially, it is a warm look, a cool look with a large highlight on the. Oh, man, sorry, I just took my acrylics off and they're all gross. So the warm shadows are pretty nice. The cool shadows are not so nice. The highlighters are pretty. They're nothing to write home about, but certainly pretty. So I like this palette. I think it was like a step in the right direction for Maybelline, doing the warm and the cool look and just changing up their palettes a little bit. So yeah, applause for that one. Then the next one in that style we got is the Maybelline Countdown palette. Now this one was a special release for New Year's Eve 2019, I believe. First one in this design, so, but once again, a warm look and a slightly cooler look with some larger high shadow pans in the middle. They did it the other way around just to be tricky, but their formula is getting better again. So there's two matte shades in the palette. We're gonna swatch that. There we go. And let's pick a cool shimmer and a warm shimmer, and we'll sort of put them near. So yeah, this palette is absolutely lovely. This is the Total Temptation one, and if, for example, I do my whole Maybelline collection as opposed to my whole makeup collection, if we do it that way, like by brands, you'll be able to see I got the other items with that. However, the thing that disturbs me about this palette is the next palette, which is Lemonade Craze, which was released in this design in Australia. Looks like really quite similar to me. However, two of the larger shadows are matte in here. The top shade Sugar Coated on the warm side is great. The Lemonade Craze shade, not so much. Strawberry Lemonade is lovely, and Sweet Tea is absolutely beautiful. The transition shade I use all the time, but yeah, I feel it's very similar to that palette. But as I said, it's the one brand I allow myself to be completionist about. Then we got, after Lemonade Craze, Soda Pop, which in Australia we got released the same way you guys did, and like many people, I love this palette, and I'm like, Maybelline, do this formula all the time, please. This formula's lovely. I like the mattes and the shimmers, the colour payoff. I like the colour story. I just think it's a really pretty palette. There's a couple. Whoa, sorry, making Maybelline look terrible there. There's a couple of shimmer swatches from that palette. It's gorgeous. So that is Soda Pop. And then the last one is also my most recent one. I don't think it's the last one chronologically. This is the City Kids, the Urban Light one. So this is like a Maybelline's take on a festival palette. I also want to get the New York Nudes. That is currently quite popular, but we haven't had it released in Australia yet. So anyway, we have this one, which is just sort of some fun highlight colours. There's some really cool duochromes, and obviously, unfortunately, I think this is probably a palette that's going to work better for fair skin tones. But like I said, I like see Maybelline doing something different. That middle duochrome, how it goes from red to brown, is amazing, and there's the pinks and stuff. So yeah, it's a fun palette. It's lovely to use. They're all the Maybelline palettes. Let's move on. Okay, we're going to go with Essence now. So this is for them my must-haves. I have a few more shades of these, but these are just where you make your own palettes. I love Essence formula. Some people don't. Like, it does feel a little bit dry before you put on the eyes, but aside from that, I love it. I love this blue denim shade here, and this blue duochrome here. So they're just beautiful shades. The raspberry frosting shade is beautiful, and the end one is like my favourite inner corner highlight. I have some more colours of that, and they will be in my single shadow. Then I have this one, the Essence in Love with Roses palette. So I'm a more mauve queen. I love my mauves, and I love the In Roses palette. Weirdly enough, I dropped it and one entire little shade broke and everything else was fine. But yeah, the quality on this is fantastic. You're going to get like some everyday looks and stuff, but that's what we got it for. I mean, it's not a graffiti nudes palette, it's an everyday roses palette, but I love it. Yeah, like I said, I really quite like Essence's formula. So those 3 swatches at the end there, a couple of shimmers and stuff, it's completely workable. And they do that in a few designs, like a few different colorways. Then they do these in a few different colorways too, really good palettes. One of the colors is, I've noticed getting them out and smashed in this, so I will repair it before I do an in-depth one. It's called All About Toffee. I haven't seen it sold like this before. I've seen it sold as all about nudes, all about other things, but there's different ones, like all about peach, blah, 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 but this is the All About Toffee palette. I love it. The beige, like a matte brow bone shade is lovely, and they're all lovely. I like it. This is my most recent palette from Essence, the Crystal Power Eyeshadow palette. I really want the blush palette too because it looks gorgeous with some of the colours, but I love this one. It's kind of an unexpected colour story. It's just got the one matte, but fortunately I have like the Maybelline matte palette, so I give these a swatch. I noticed when I got this that some of them had like a little bit of hard pan type effect, so I had to get busy with some sticky tape and tape it. But there we go, and there's 3 of the shades from there. So the matte, a blue and a green. It's you sort of have to build with this palette, but it certainly does work. And then last and least is this little, I felt so bougie when I got this, the Essence Touch Up To Go palette, because it was the Beauty Blogger edition. I felt like that was how it's going to be discovered. This blush, the bomb, like just mix it up and go. This mauve, lovely. This brown, really weird. Like it's got gold glitter in it. Aside from that, however, it's like a beautiful soft dark brown that works quite well. I just don't know why they put it full of gold glitter. The gold's a pretty nice standard gold. The one for all balm, which you can use for eyebrows or your lips, as you can see, got fairly destroyed quite quickly. We use this backstage at my daughter's dance a lot, but anyway, that is us for Essence palettes. The rest are going to be in single shadows and or makeup if you want to see that. And then we go to an Australian brand called Emco Beauty. So this is like Priceline, which is one of our huge like Superdrug, Boots, Ulta type places that, yes, does sell some other pharmacy items, but it mostly sells a lot of different makeup. And yeah, so this is their house brand. This is another one of those different texture neutral palettes that Tati's being hailed a legend for doing, that other people have done. Like, look at these shadows, you can I just like pressing them, and they're so gorgeous, and like they look like they're gonna dry down and they don't, and it's amazing. I'm so amazed every time I use these. Like, how does it work? Tell me your witchcraft. Let's see, there's a couple of the shimmer shades just there, and then there are mattes down that side there, and they're just normal shimmers at the top. And this is gorgeous. I got it for $10 half price, but certainly still cheaper than Tidy's and much better. This was a great palette too. I'm so sad I broke one of the highlighting shades because it was a lovely one, but this was one of their limited edition ones, so they do quite a lot of limited edition collections, and then very few staple items, like in eyeshadows, it's only like lipsticks and that sort of thing, which I do have some on when we see the whole makeup collection. So these were 3 eyeshadow paints, and then it was a lovely pinky colour that I use quite regularly. I have a lot of these shades. Obviously, they're my favourite, but I have been using it. Then we also have a Blush and Go palette from their Floral Limited Edition one. So it is just like 2 matte blushes and 2 sparkly blushes, and they're pretty good. As I said, I generally tend to wear cream brushes now. And then the Festival Glitter palette. So I've used this mostly for stage makeup for my daughter and even dress-ups and stuff, but I think we got it reduced to $2.50. And I will certainly say that, like, I would rather do these than like a pressed glitter. I think they work nicely. They're fine. Like, there is enough glitter that you can still see. You can build up a nice layer. Looks great on the stage. So that's MCO Beauty.